Okay, I know. You want to get off that couch. You want to get off that fucking game of Call of Duty. And I know. You got to get KD. You got it, man. But here are 5 self-improvement hacks for every man that you should seriously consider. This is Jim with SeductionUnleashed.com, help you unleash your best with women and beyond. And if it's your first time to this channel and you're interested in how to get the girl, how to keep the girl, self-improvement and motivational content, start now by hitting that subscribe and bell notification so you don't miss anything. So with that being said, let's go. Step number 1. This is possibly the most important step, man. And that step is to have a morning routine. Let me repeat myself. To have a morning routine. Think about this for a second. Once you wake up, doesn't that kind of set the precedent for what the rest of the day is going to be like? Have you ever started off your day doing something not productive? Like, I don't know, maybe you just beat off some porn 5 times and then smoked a fat ass blunt and played some games online, and then before you know it, it's 5 p.m. and now it's hard to really do anything because you're so in this mode of what you already started with. It's hard to flip. So every morning, I want you to have a morning routine, a serious morning routine, at least 1 hour. Just start with something that's 1 hour. And I want you to stick to it every single morning. Like for me personally, I wake up every morning, I drink a glass of water, I try to down an alkalized green shake basically, so I don't get ass cancer before the age of fucking 60 or 55, which we all should avoid. Seriously, these are things we don't talk about. But you want to be healthy, so I try to start off my day by drinking something healthy to cleanse my system. I try to deep breathe, meditate for 10 minutes, and if I don't have the time, maybe I'm in a rush, I'll go to the bathroom and just isolate myself, because the bathroom sometimes that's the only place that's really free from the chaos. So in the morning, when you go to the bathroom, you look in the mirror, close your eyes, envision something awesome, envision what you want for that day or that week, and just close your eyes and take a deep breath, at least 10 deep breaths, and if not, at least 2 deep breaths. Just have that micro moment where you're separate from everything, because that will set the precedent for you to be proactive rather than reacting to everything else around you. And then after that, I like to write for an hour or possibly go to the gym for an hour, or I like to alternate if I'm at home and I just don't feel like going to the gym. That sets my morning up to where I get my workout already done, I get some writing done so I don't have to worry about that, producing some content. So you should really consider this and consider having 2 to 3 things written down at least every single morning to at least make sure you do, so you don't end up on fucking Call of Duty, man. I know, man, you nice with the headshots, but just save that later on. Save that for later in the day when you already have everything done. Step number 2, have a weekly planner. Now, when I was in school, we used to get planners, and I thought they looked really cool, but I hated filling them out, because what did you fill them out with? You fill them out with normal school shit, and I wasn't really interested in homework and school in general, to be honest. So if you say had a weekly planner, you had a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you had it on the wall every day you wake up, it's one of the first things you see, you have a marker right next to it, you can write down what you need to get done. That way, every day, as soon as you wake up, you already are set up for success. You already have your goals staring right at you. You don't have time to, wake up and be like, oh, where am I? Oh man, what am I doing today? That's the worst place you want to be. You want to wake up every day with that purpose. And sometimes we have dreams, and sometimes we just wake up all out of whack. So this is a perfect way to just instantly snap you into, what day is it? And what am I supposed to do today? What awesome shit do I have to get done today? Number 3, use a timer. Now this one is more for specific activities. Say you need to get something done. You need to get a paper done, or perhaps you need to get a workout done. Use an interval timer, which is actually really useful. You can look them up online, or you can just put an interval timer in an app store. So say every day you wanted to do 15 minutes of cardio, or every day or 2 you wanted to do 15 minutes of cardio so your ass doesn't get a heart attack before the fucking age of 50. That's an easy way. You set the timer and then you don't have to worry about it. It does all the organization for you. If you want to write for an hour or do something productive for an hour, you can set the timer. You can set it for 15 minutes 3 times with maybe a 5-minute break in between, and then by the end of it, that'll be almost an hour. Also, pro tip, I also like to use timers and the concept of trying to do things quickly to just get things done faster, because a lot of times, say for example, if I went up to this camera and I was nervous. Maybe I was nervous about my performance. It might put me in my head too much. But let's say I went up here and I was like, okay, I want to get this one video done in the next 20 minutes. Now, it might fuck me up, but it might actually end up motivating me, because what it does is it takes your mind off in the moment. It's like if you had a bunch of chores to do and you're like, okay, I'm gonna try to do all this in 15 minutes. You set that fucking clock, and now suddenly you're working like a madman. You're not even thinking about the task you're doing. You're just thinking, I wanna beat that fucking time. Step number 4, work out every single day. Even if it's just 15 minutes of cardio. It doesn't have to be running. It could be a lot of cool things. It could be like shadow boxing, it could be jump roping, it could be hitting a bag, it could be swimming. Consider the fact that, think about it, when you're sediment for a while, what happens? You start to feel fat, you know what I mean? Have you ever went to the gym and then afterwards you felt more athletic or more in shape, even though technically you know you look the same, you couldn't have possibly made any real change within a day? But just the act of doing it, it brings out the positives in you. You start to see the good things. Whereas when you don't do shit, you actually start to see the bad things. You're on the couch all day and then you're looking down, you're like, man, I have a gut. And then maybe the next day you go to the gym and you're like, you know what, my arms are actually pretty decent. You know, your perception changes. Not just that, but I know it's a lot of fitness guys, sometimes they don't encourage cardio because they encourage lifting weights. And I also encourage that. You should be going to the gym to lift weights 3 to 4 times a week. Aim for 3 to 4 times a week, at least 3 times a week, just for an hour. But also you should have cardio too. I notice a lot of guys, they're not a big fan of cardio. It's not very popular with the weightlifting dude bro community. But seriously, man, consider the fact that it's just good for you. What's the point of fucking muscles if your ass is gonna run down the block and be out of breath 15 minutes later and have a heart attack before you're like fucking 50? Don't go full retard in any direction. Try to have a balance, but definitely consider lifting weights. That's gonna make the biggest visual change. But never abandon cardio. I don't care how pussy it is, man. That cardio, it helps, especially if you're like me. I used to smoke a lot of blunts. Just find some kind of cardio that you like to do. Step number 5, go outside every day for at least 15 minutes a day. Have you ever stayed inside for like 2 days? And what happens basically? What happens if you stay in the house for a week and then you go outside? You probably feel kind of fucking autistic. That's the truth. But even more so, even with those social skill reasons aside, just going outside itself is therapeutic. Like, we don't think about it because we think very logically, but things have an energy. When you go outside and you smell the trees and you feel the wind and it feels good, dude, that's because it's meant to feel good. Just like you're actually connected with the sun and the moon. For example, if you stood up all night and you didn't sleep, and then you slept all day and woke up at 5 p.m., you know how you feel like shit? That isn't an accident. You actually feel like shit because you're meant to be aligned with the sun and the moon. Like, you're part of this dualistic reality. So if you don't go outside and you don't get vitamin D, you're gonna be not getting as much testosterone as you should be getting from the sun. It's just not gonna feel great being inside all the time. So do it. Just go outside, even if it's not something huge, even if you're just going to in fact, it should be something that isn't huge. You should make it a habit to go outside without even needing some real reason, because we get conditioned that way to feel like, oh, I'm only gonna go outside if I have to go from A to B. But that's fucking lame. You should just go outside because it's nice outside. Maybe you just wanna take a breath, and especially if you live in the city. Like, for me, it's more of an investment. You have to take an elevator downstairs. You know, it's not like people say in the South, they just open their door and they're hit with awesome weather. Me, weather isn't always great sometimes, so maybe you don't want to go outside, but you should go outside, man. It'll make a difference in your mental calmness. Even just stepping outside, even to the roof, man. Just go out to your roof if you can. Don't get arrested for trespassing, and it'll make a big difference in your psyche and your mental morale, period. So get out the fucking house, man. So if you dig that video and you want to see more on getting the girl, keeping the girl, self-improvement, and motivational content, hit that subscribe and bell notification. And remember, until next time, unleash your best, and confidence is bred by competence. Peace.